Let me quickly introduce myself. My name is Traun Krishna. I have 8 years of experience in SAP, and I have handled around three implementation projects in ECC, two S4 implementation projects, and two implementation projects in GRC in my tenure. And I got a chance to work on different applications like ECC, BI, GRC, and right now all the latest applications such as S4HANA, HANA DB, SSC, IAS, IPS, you name it, like we have all the cloud applications in our stack. We have implemented end to end in 2 to 3 projects in my current company. So yeah, that is my experience. Guys. So I'll be covering HANA DB security, as you all might know already. Okay, so let me give you a quick demo. I think you guys have already finished SAP basis, so I would assume that you're good with the SAP terminology, or you're at least you have some basic idea about what SAP
Yeah, yeah, sure.
GUI.
If we get stuck, we'll ask you there and then only.
Sure, sure, sure. I would expect you to have at least um, like a basic knowledge of how SAP GUI screen looks like, or SAP Fiori front end looks like, right? I
Yep.
think I expect you to have some basic idea about it. So you guys already have some experience in database side. So I would not think that you guys might have any difficulty in understanding this course. Okay, SAP stands for Systems, Applications, and Products in Data Processing, basically. So SAP is an ERP tool, and what is an ERP? ERP stands for Enterprise Resource Planning. So SAP ERP is basically a tool which helps an organization in dealing with its business. So as you might already know, in the like in basis they might have given you this intro, but I'm reiterating the same thing. What is a ERP and why does a business need it? Basically, okay, you have to understand this. So ERP is an enterprise resource planning. So in the abbreviation itself, you can understand something about it. Like it allows an enterprise to plan how they are going to do their business, basically. So in this world, like time is money. Okay, in the business, it's always time. Time is equal to money. Okay. So earlier, what used to happen? There used to be a decentralized way. Let me give you a quick example how the things used to be there. Like if there is a company which sells bikes or scooters of that sort. Okay, what used to happen? A customer used to visit the company, or not the company itself, like the vendor who used to sell these bikes or scooters. And what the vendor used to do, vendor usually contacts the inventory, and if inventory guy checks whether there is right amount of stock, so that he can deliver the product to the end user or the customer. If not, the inventory guy used to place an order to the manufacturing department, and in manufacturing department, if there are right amount of raw materials that is required to manufacture a bike, they will automatically manufacture the bike and deliver it to the production department, and production department will in turn deliver it to the vendor. But if suppose if there are no raw materials with the with the manufacturing department, they have to again procure these raw materials. So this is called a decentralized way of doing things. So what happens here? A lot of time is wasted basically. So if a lot of time is wasted, what might happen? You might lose the business, like you might lose your customer, because some other guy who is using a centralized system where he has all the data in under one roof. Okay, like he can in a single glance he can see whether he has all the raw materials, or whether what is the inventory, like how many bikes are there in his inventory, and how many bikes are available to be provided to the customer. Like the people will have all kinds of data in one place. That is nothing but centralized system. So all the departments in a business are connected into one single system called the centralized system. Okay, you have all the data under one roof. So in centralized, so this ERP like SAP is introduced for the same case. Like you have many ERPs in the market which provides specialization for each module, but SAP is such an ERP which provides you the specialization with all the modules that you need for running a business. So you might ask me like, okay, with SAP, using SAP, can I design a new application? You cannot. Application itself, SAP itself is a tool which helps you with your day-to-day business activities. It's not, SAP is not like Java or any other programming language. SAP is just a tool, okay, which is used to help your business, right? So this is the basic of what SAP does. Okay. So there are different kinds of consultants in SAP. I don't want to go into it because it's it's a different topic. Like we'll be going into ECC and S4 HANA for that. But coming to coming to SAP HANA, it's a bit different. Okay. Okay. Let me quickly start with the intro. So guys, have you heard about SAP HANA before and what SAP HANA is?
This you just corrected yourself saying that instead of S4 HANA, you said SAP HANA. Are the two different from one another?
SAP S4 HANA is a core system. It's just like an ECC system. Like ECC is being transitioned into S4. Okay, in ECC you have GUI. In S4 you have Fiori. Fiori is your front end system, and S4 will be your back end system. But in ECC you only have GUI, that is GUI, graphical user interface.
Correct.
Okay,
Yeah. That is in
HANA DB,
ECC,
yes,
right?
that is ECC. GUI is your ECC, okay, and
Yep.
Fiori is your S4 HANA,
Understood. Okay.
and SAP HANA is your database. Earlier, what used to happen?
Understood.
Earlier, when ECC was there, people used to have this Oracle database.
Correct.
On Oracle database, you used to have your application, like application layer used to interact with Oracle database, and Oracle used to be the main database. Later on, SAP has created its own database, which is SAP HANA database, which we are going to see in our class.
This HANA is they created or they acquired a company?
No, they have not acquired. It's their own technology.
So they
They
use
might
their
have
own
acquired.
technology.
They might have
Some other
acquired
smaller company. Yeah.
bits and pieces, but not the entire thing. They have
Understood. So
developed.
HANA is basically the proprietary product of SAP.
SAP, yes. HANA is a
Understood.
very much proprietary product of SAP.
Understood. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so you asked us
So,
about the HANA. So HANA, we know the basics that it's a database. It runs on a Unix operating system in our environment. It's on a SUSE Linux. It's an in-memory
okay,
database. The transactions are very fast, and that's how it
great.
differentiates with most other DBs like SQL or Oracle or PLSQL, because it's
Okay,
an in-memory database, and that's why it requires a lot of memory to operate, and
you have
works
said
on
in-memory
Unix.
database.
Yeah,
What is in-memory? And have you
and
heard anything about row-based search and a column-based store, something like that? Have you heard
uh,
about it?
rows and column based stores. We are aware of the rows and columns, but in other database, in context of HANA specifically, no.
So there is a major difference here. Coming to
Mhm.
like the difference between your Oracle database and HANA database is that in your native database, what used to happen, like in your traditional database, like the row-based search used to happen in the data, which will take
Mhm.
a lot of time, right? So when it comes to in-memory database, which is your HANA database, instead of going with the row-based search, it employs a search called column-based search, which speeds up the search quantity and
Because
distance.
columns
And
generally
as you
tend to be
said,
less than rows. Is that
exactly,
the logic?
exactly. And also, as you said, it's an in-memory database. In-memory database is nothing but all the data that you need, all the raw data that you need is loaded into your RAM, which is random
Mhm.
access memory for an instance. So for this, SAP HANA gives you lakhs of TB of data, lakhs of TB of RAM, so that you can do your
Correct.
operation instantly in your in-memory database. Okay, it's a like what happens basically is that it's a temporary memory. Okay,
Mhm.
you're basically uploading all the data you want into this temporary memory, that is RAM, and you're performing your activity there. Okay, once you have your input, once you have your output, you're saving this output into the database, and once you save your output in the database, that is a temporary memory. Okay, you're not saving the data forever in that RAM. Okay,
Correct.
you're
Yeah.
bringing that data into the RAM for a moment, and you're performing your activity. Okay, and you're getting the output, you're saving it into your database, and that's it. Okay, and
Understood.
the comparison between traditional database and when you compare the traditional database with S4 HANA, like the difference is huge. Like if a calculation takes some X amount of time. Okay, in your traditional database, it that the calculation will be over within no time in HANA DB. So it's very quick. Okay, it's a in-memory
Understood.
database. It stores data in row and column store, and as you said, it is faster. Okay, than the
Mhm.
traditional database. So these are the key things that we can say about SAP HANA, as you said. Okay, that's very
Understood.
good. I think you are already working on it, right? If I'm
Yeah.
not wrong. Yeah. So
Look, we don't work as such on HANA DB to move transports and stuff like that. Some preliminary commands sometimes we have to run when the basis team tells us. We
okay,
execute, get the input, and give it to them.
okay, that's fine. So and
So,
one more thing.
Shravan, one second. Shravan, I think I may have missed it. Did you introduce yourself? You did, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Can you, if you don't mind, can you please introduce once more? Because I think I may have missed that part. If you don't mind,
So
I'm so sorry to
I
bring
have
in
8
this up.
years of experience, Shravan, in SAP. So I've
Mhm.
been doing these multiple implementation projects as well as AMS projects. AMS is nothing but support projects.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have around 8 years of experience doing
So in
all
cyber
kinds.
security, the SAP security also is part of the AMS in general, or like which team generally from the SAP roles takes care of SAP security?
Security. There is a dedicated team for security. Like earlier, security used to be part of basis, but now security is a different team altogether.
And it
Right?
has its own different certification right now.
Yes, it has their own
Understood.
defense certification. Security has
Understood.
its own defense certification.
All right,
Yes,
Shravan, thank you. Please.
I'm personally certified in GRC, S4 HANA, and IAG. It's an upgrade for GRC, if you might know. Like you are into
Yeah.
the cybersecurity space, so GRC is
Yeah.
nothing but governance, risk, and compliance.
Correct. Yeah. So,
It's
basically, your overall experience is within the SAP landscape, and from
exactly.
last few years, you have also started doing SAP security because now it has been taken out of the basis role, correct?
No, from
Um,
beginning onwards, no, from beginning onwards, I'm into SAP security only. I'm not onto
okay.
business.
So, do you have like any other? Do you have also background in the generic cyber security?
No, I do not.
Okay. So basically, you are
Because
saying that.
application security is way different than your cyber security. Like we have cyber security linked to it. Like we have components called vulnerability management, but like I'm not
But
into it.
SAP security can be classified under the cyber security of the organization
You
as well,
can,
right?
you can, you can.
Understood. I'm just trying to understand the terminology that SAP security is it related to the cyber security landscape that generally companies have, and whether or not it falls within the framework of GRC, which you mentioned. But
Yes,
that's
it
good. You
falls under.
clarified it.
Yes, so application security and cyber security are a bit different, but yeah, ultimately application security also falls under the cyber security. Yeah.
Understood. So, as part of your security role, do you generally also take part in penetration testing of SAP applications deployed on other
Sorry, come
companies,
again.
or
What test? What testing?
penetration testing?
No, no, we don't do it. We don't
Understood.
do any penetration testing. Yes.
Understood. Okay. So,
The,
but
the,
you are
the
aware that,
core
but
the
you are
core thing
aware
is
that
that,
but you are aware that there are people who do the penetration testing on the SAP
of
front end.
course, of course,
So
of course, of
those
course,
guys
there
are
is.
also generally the SAP trained experts, or they are like generic cybersecurity guys who have been trained with some screens, and then they just try their regular methods of
They take help
uploading
of
payloads.
security team. If at all something is needed from us, they would usually take our help and they do this actually. But it is very less actually.
Understood. Understood,
The
Shravan. Please
frequency
carry
is
on.
very less. So yeah, okay. Do you know what HANA stands for?
No, man, no, we don't
Yeah.
recall. I mean,
So
unless Nelby, can you add?
it's okay. I'll tell you. So HANA is your high performance analytic appliance. Okay, that is its full form. You guys know, like you have good knowledge actually. I think it will not be very difficult for you to complete this course in 10 sessions. I was doubting it
Is
initially, but I
high
don't
performance
know about
analytic application. Okay.
appliance. Okay, it's not application; it's an appliance. Okay, it's the same, but yeah. So that is what it is.
But where is N
So
here? November.
sorry,
It's high
come again.
performance. It's HANA, right? So HANA. So it's high
Hmm.
performance analytic appliance. So where is
You
N
tell
here?
me. AN
I'm
stands
just
for
saying.
analytic. Hmm.
So AN is analytic and
Yeah, AN
HANA
stands for your
analytic
analytic.
appliance.
Yes, HANA
Hmm.
high analytic, high performance analytic appliance. Okay. H
Understood.
stands
Understood.
for
High,
H
high
stands for your
analytic
high
appliance.
performance.
Understood.
AN stands for your analytic.
And
A
A for
stands for your
appliance. Yeah.
appliance. Yes.
Understood.
So
Yeah.
what is HANA in total? HANA is nothing but
So
HANA is a
HANA is high
database.
performance analytic appliance and SAP is a system application and products, right?
Why am I calling it an appliance in the first place?
Understood. So appliance is because I think it requires its own hardware. You cannot deploy this on other hardware because when we bought the
Yeah.
hardware for these,
Very
we
good.
had
Very good. You're good man.
HANA is a
Education.
database.
So whatever you said is exactly right. I was about to say the same thing. What else is there?
Operating system. These operating system, does this really have to be SUSE Linux or it can be any flavor of Linux? It can be Red Hat or SUSE or
It
Unix,
can
HP Unix.
like okay, that thing is taken care of by basis team actually. But as far I know, it can be only SUSE Linux. Okay.
Hassan,
So
Yes,
let's not
Mr.
go
yeah,
Saran.
okay, it has
into
to be SUSE
the
Linux only,
installation.
huh? Not Red Hat.
Okay.
Okay. So this is the thing. So
Just
why we call it an appliance?
one thing, Shravan, this SUSE Linux that we install, it's a proprietary version of Unix, right? And we need to procure the license for it, correct? When we code.
Like that is totally into basis. Okay,
Chalo, ठीक है, no
exception, but
problem.
yes,
Carry on,
like
carry on, carry on.
they will charge you. Like there is a difference, right? You're using it for a corporate purpose. So of course they're going to of course they're going to charge you, and you have to take a proper license for it, right?
Understood.
So of course they're going to use it. So already like you're good with this thing, right? So that's why I'm calling it an appliance. Basically, it gives you database, hardware, and operating system as well included.
Appliance.
That's why I call it an appliance. So in total, HANA is what? High performance analytic appliance. Okay. And why is it faster than the traditional database? We already understood. Why is it faster? Because it provides
In
in-memory
memory.
database, stores data in row and column store, and it's so that for that reason it is faster than the traditional base. So if we go in detail, like what does it do basically? It gives us the option multi-threading, right? HANA works on a concept called multiple parallel processing. Okay, so not good because see HANA has multiple cores, just like your Intel processor, which has multiple cores and threads in it, right? Similarly, HANA has multiple cores. So you know what is a core?
Yeah, cores are of two types, for physical and virtual, which is embedded within the CPU, and each core, and within the core you have high performance, low performance, high voltage, low voltage
Yeah.
cores, and
So
each core
in
can be
database,
allocated
no, no,
for.
in database it's a bit different. In database, a core is logically divided. A core is nothing but a logically divided database, okay, which can handle separate set of requests. Okay, it's similar to your Intel core, like what you said. But yeah, always remember that in HANA, a core is a logically divided database which can handle separate set of user requests. Okay,
Understood, yeah.
and like if I have to say like how many times it is faster than your traditional database, it is 3,600 times faster than your
So
existing
basically, you are
database.
saying that the core within the HANA database is a logical database within the main database,
Correct. Correct.
correct? And can
You're right.
serve various purposes.
Yes.
Yeah,
Correct.
okay. And you don't actually create the course, do you? Like when you are defining the database,
We do not create any course while defining the
just the
database. You
HANA
already
creates by itself,
you're
is it?
already you're already served with multiple cores, and these multiple cores will be used by you.
So this is by default installation within the HANA. The logical course come along with the
Yes,
database as soon as the DB is
along with the
created.
database. Yes. True.
Understood. And then the database is smart enough to allocate various transactions to various logical cores.
Exactly. It's a
Understood.
very intelligent database. It's not like your traditional database. Like you have to create the core separately. No,
Correct,
it
correct.
creates a. It logically divides it automatically, and whatever the data you store, it is compressed. Okay, and it is stored in the database called in-memory database, which is nothing but RPC. So
So
the
just for
hard drive writes.
out of curiosity,
Sorry.
now, say for example, in SQL we have stored procedures, right? Do we have
Hmm.
similar things in HANA as well? Are they also
Yes.
called stored procedures?
Yes. They're also called stored procedures.
Okay.
But we don't discuss much about that in
Yeah,
our
sure. Yeah,
security
that's
thing.
a
But yeah,
yeah.
yeah, we. Yes. So this is called in-memory database is nothing but the shortcut of in-memory database is IMDb. Okay. So what it does, the
Okay.
hardware, so the hard drive that we have reads or writes the data, and it minimizes to a greater extent, and all the database is stored and processed within this RAM, as I said earlier, right? That is
Mm-hmm.
in-memory database, right? Basically, so whatever data you have in your hard drive, like it takes the data for a moment into the RAM, and it quickly lets you process whatever you want, and the output that you get is again stored into your hard drive. And
Correct.
column store I have already discussed, right? So these are the basic, these are the major differences between your traditional database and HANA database.
HANA.
Okay, is suit on HANA or what is S4 HANA? Like you have raised this doubt, right? What is S4 HANA? What is HANA Cloud? What is BI on HANA?
Yep.
Right? I'll
Yes.
I'll give you a basic intro on that as well, because I was not planning to give this, but yeah, since you have raised it, I'm going to cover that as well. Okay. We call it SOH, S4 Core, HANA Cloud, BI on HANA. Okay. So these are the things that we have. So what is suit on HANA? That is SOH. So, okay. When a HANA migration happens, okay, from traditional ECC system that you have, so the front end remains unchanged. However, the back end changes. So this is the advantage of SOH basically. That is suit on HANA. Is that user don't have to adapt to a new system. Like ECC is a traditional system that we have been using since ages, right? Since the beginning of SAP, the end users are using ECC. But now what happened? So in order to migrate from ECC to, like, many people will not be comfortable in migrating from ECC to S4 HANA. S4 HANA will have this Fiori front end, which will have Fiori applications. Like applications are like you can relate them to your transaction codes that you have in SAP. Are you aware of T codes in SAP
Yeah, T codes are the shortcuts for accessing the
programs?
screens directly by entering
Transaction
the
codes,
number.
right?
Accessing
Yeah.
the programs, actually, like you cannot remember the entire program. So what SAP has done is that SAP in turn has linked a shortcut to this program. So when you execute this T code in backend, you'll be executing some program. Okay, some processing happens, and you'll be able to see the screen. Okay, that's what it happens. But now these T codes are replaced by Fiori applications. Fiori applications are more like why Fiori has come into the picture. So ECC, you have to use it only in your desktop, right? Whereas when it comes to your Fiori applications, you can use these Fiori applications on the go. Like you can use these Fiori applications in your mobile, desktop, tablet, right? You have more. This is more user friendly when it comes when it is compared to ECC. But the thing with this Fiori application is that now while while transitioning from ECC to S4, now you have to learn like how to use these Fiori applications. You have to read all the documentation that comes with it from SAP. So you have to be trained on this S4, and you have to start working on it. So it's a bit difficult for people who have been working for 10, 15 years or 16 years on the same application. If you ask them to move from ECC to S4, it's going to be a very tedious task. And trust me, I've been seeing that already, because like many trainings will go on SAP Enable now. SAP is providing you the solution as well for this problem. Actually, it is giving trainings on how to enable the already existing users in ECC so that they can work on S4 HANA applications, Fiori applications in order. But see, many companies
So
will not be interested.
before HANA existed, it was the ECC, right? Which had
ECC,
different databases like SQL,
yes,
which like Oracle.
yes.
Okay.
ECC used to be there. That used to be the traditional ERP that SAP used to have. But since everything is moving into the cloud, like everyone is moving towards the cloud, SAP had to have its own solution in cloud. So for that reason, SAP has developed a solution called Theory, right? So it has many competitors in the market. So in order to face them, so it had no other option but to bring Fieri into the picture, and it has given what do you say? It has given an end date that it is going to stop support for ECC if you're not going to migrate from ECC to S4. Like it has given an end date. So these are all the solutions. Whatever I'm saying, these are all the solutions that SAP has given them. Okay, you can either use SOH, that is suit on HANA, or you can either migrate to S4 core, which is going to be your front end theory system instead of your GUI system, right? The end users will be working on your front end system, which is Fieri applications. So SOH will basically, if you go with SOH, basically you'll have HANA DB as your database and ECC as your front end. So there is no need to migrate your ECC design into S4 core design. So only the database here changes.
if we use SOH, is it?
If you use SOH, yes, that is an option.
So front end will
Like
be
put on
ECC
HANA.
and back end can be HANA. That's what you're saying?
HANA database, yes. The Oracle, the data which rests in the traditional database can be migrated into HANA DB. That's what I'm saying. Basically. So
Understood.
the migration experts does it, obviously, like you guys. So you guys might have been done many migrations, right, from one database to another database, right? So
Yeah.
nowadays everyone is
Yeah, go on. Yes, we have done some migration, but from the same flavors of database, like from SQL to 2008 to 2012, and then 2012 to 2019, like that.
yes, you have done it, right? So
Yeah.
many people might have done it. So it's a similar thing, but you have to make sure that there has to be this SLT, you might know, right? That so it will transform the data from your so so people use SLT. What I have saw
But that's
is
a
that
third
people
party
have
tool,
used
right?
it's a third party tool. Like I have seen many people using this SLT to transform this data so that all the table data which is there in your traditional database is coming and sitting properly in your HANA database. Like in my previous projects, in 2, 3 projects, implementation projects, what happened in the migration projects, they have migrated the data from the Oracle database to HANA database using SLT. SLT is, I forgot its full name, but it is something transformation client or transformation application, I think so. What it does, like it basically brings the data from the traditional database into the HANA database. Yeah.
Understood. Yeah.
So that is SOH. And S4 core, as I've already explained
You
you,
said a suit
S4
on HANA, right?
just suit on
So
HANA.
suit is SOOT, is it?
No, it's I said suit on HANA. S is suit, O
It's a
is
suit on
on, and
SUIT
H is
suit. Suit on HANA.
SOH. Yeah, it is suit on HANA. It's business
Understood.
suit basically.
Understood. Suit on HANA. Okay.
Mm. And S4 core is nothing but your next generation business suite, as I've explained, that replaces ECC or ERP, right? So what it does, what SAP is doing basically with S4
So
core,
S4 core
uh,
doesn't involve any database license or what?
no, it doesn't include like SAP core will also have what do you say this SAP HANA as its database. It will not have special license, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Hmm. And basically, what it does is that what SAP has done with S4HANA is that it has optimized all the ECC modules. Like ECC has many modules, like FI, MM, or SD. You might have heard these terms. Like these are the business terms, terminologies
Mm-hmm.
for a module in the business. Okay, FI deals with finance, SD deals with sales and distribution, MM deals with material management, and
Yeah.
so on. Okay. All these modules are basically what happened. So these modules used to be vast in ECC in the traditional system, and what they have done, they have tried to compress these modules. Like if suppose there are 100 or 200 tables in FA module, what they have done, they have compressed these tables and they have brought these tables into 10 tables, which are called central tables. So why I'm saying this? Because HANA DB will have these tables in it. Like it will have the compressed tables within it. Compressed table data will be there instead of having hundreds and thousands of tables. Earlier, it used to have like that. For suppose, let us say if there is a master data in your company, like for master data maintenance, people used to have referred to like 10 or 20 or 30 tables, but now there is only one table in S4 HANA, which is your central master data table. It's a classic
Mm-hmm.
example of when you compare your ECC with your S4 HANA. So what S4 HANA has done is that it has compressed all the modules that are there in SAP. Okay,
But
it has
compressing will take a
compressed.
hit on performance, right?
It might take a hit on performance, but for that reason only SAP has given you the
Option.
in-memory database option, right?
Understood.
Which
Understood. Yeah.
makes things very quick.
Understood. Okay.
As you said, and migrating is also a challenge, as you said. Yes, there is a definite challenge
This
because of this.
you are saying this SOH, S4 Core, HANA Cloud, BI on HANA. These are what? These are the offerings that SAP is giving to
SAP
people who are
is
on
giving to people.
ECC
Yes, yes, to migrate.
so that they
Now,
can migrate. Yeah.
yes, if people are using SAP BI, BI is nothing but business intelligence and business warehouse, which is
Yeah.
used for analytics and reporting.
Correct.
BI is
Yeah.
basically used for analytics and reporting. If you want to migrate, if you have to migrate, there is no other option. You have to migrate, for BW for HANA, BI or BW for HANA. Okay, that is the solution which is provided. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay.
everything is optimized, even HCP. If coming to HCP, what happens? It is nothing but HANA Cloud solution. HCP is your HANA Cloud solution, HANA Cloud Computing solution. So what happens in HCP is that, like, let us say you don't need any physical infrastructure installed in your company. Like like what is it called? Platform as a service, right? So PaaS,
Yeah.
platform as a service. It provides you with the service PaaS, right? You can install your what do you say? Like, they'll deliver you a pre-installed package of HANA in PaaS, right?
Okay.
And there are different
On their
kinds of
own
solutions
cloud.
under their own cloud, and you have different kinds of subscriptions in PaaS,
And
like
this you
public
are
cloud, private cloud.
so this is similar to like are you talking about SAP Rise or it's a different product?
It's SAP Rise, as I said.
Yeah. Yeah.
It,
Okay.
it, it, it comes under SAP Rise. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, SAP Rise. Okay, you're also familiar with this. Very good. So yeah, so you have this on-premise, like we have on-premise, public cloud, and private cloud. And public cloud and private cloud are the offerings of SAP to provide infrastructure for you. Okay, if you are a basic company and if you are a startup company, you'll obviously not have the money to invest much on the hardware, right? So in
Yeah.
that case, you will obviously opt for public cloud services where you will be sharing your data with some hundreds of clients together, okay, in a public cloud. It is a shared space.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shared
So
resource,
people are
shared space. Yeah.
shared space. People are not much comfortable. Like, see, if I'm a pharma company and if I'm going to employ this, if I'm going to use this solution as a public cloud, I'm not much comfortable doing that, right? I will obviously opt for an on-premise solution or a private cloud instead. But if I'm a new company, I'm a startup company, and I don't have the funds to either buy the infrastructure and keep it as an on-premise in my company or to go for private cloud, excuse me, I'll obviously opt for public cloud,
Understood.
right?